Gachiakuta follows the same template as shows like Blue Exorcist and Togenanki. A boy with violent tendencies loses his foster father and decides to seek revenge using his newly discovered dark powers. He joins an organization to hone his skills and gain knowledge. Where Gachiakuta differentiates itself is the world building of the ground and the power structures of the vital instruments. The show is also a bit edgier and uses some moments of body horror and shock factor elements to maintain intrigue.
I feel like they toned this down as the show went on.
There was also some manhandling of uncensored cockroaches. Pixelate that crap. For me, this was all fine until episode 13, where the execution of Amo's backstory sullied the show. You can skip over it with the knowledge that she suffers every physical and mental abuse possible her whole life, and that's why she is who she is. But for a show that's trying so hard to come off as edgy, they refuse to kill people, even the bad guys. There's one plot device death in the first episode, and then after that, everyone has plot armor.
It helps when you have painting magic that prevents fatal injuries.
There is so much yelling in this show, and it's not like Black Clover where it was just Asta. Here, it's multiple characters and sometimes everyone in certain situations. But the doctor, the fabricator, and the gardener were always yelling in their scenes. I think you can call this a battle shonen with extra layers because it's trying to world build. It's not throwing tournament arcs at you, but you will spend a lot of time in fights with various villains that last multiple episodes. And the pacing of the fights feels kind of slow because it includes a lot of talking. But people's abilities and fighting styles are all unique and interesting, which helps.
Like kicking some scissors around or flying on an umbrella.
Yep.
We would take lots of breaks in fights, and a lot of the time spent in fights felt like they were repeatedly taking swings at each other.
Without making progress.
There were some really good shots, but it was also followed up by some very confusing space management in the choreography. Like dropping people down a tower to almost certain death, followed by another character casually jumping down that same height.
As far as characters go, I appreciate that the story treats Rudo like a 15-year-old and spends time nurturing his more immature aspects via mentorship from the other characters. But overall, I didn't feel particularly drawn to any one character. They aren't very natural and they feel pigeonholed into serving a specific purpose. But there are lots of different personalities for viewers to choose from in this large cast.
I found Engine interesting, and I wish we had spent more time with him, instead of having more than 15 other cleaners that we were introduced to.
I don't know if I'll watch season 2, but I would like answers to my questions, like, is Rudo's dad still alive? What was Regto working on that got him killed? Why did he have a series instrument?
Possibly 2, depending on what his notebook might have ended up being.
And who is the masked man? Gachiakuta had a strong start, but it started falling off by episode 10. But I can be unbiased and say that the production quality was significant, so I'm giving it a good 7 out of 10.